Welcome back to the Rare Lincoln Penny channel, where every coin tells a story of history, rarity, and hidden value. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising coins in American history, the 1980 Lincoln cent. You may think it's just a simple 1-cent coin, but wait till you hear this. Some of these tiny copper pieces have sold for as high as $787.99. Yes, a single penny that could almost buy you a new smartphone. But what makes the 1980 penny so special? What's its history? What errors make it rare? And how can you identify if you have one worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Stay with me till the very end, because we'll uncover every detail, every secret, and every clue that could turn your ordinary penny into treasure. The birth of the Lincoln cent. Let's start from the very beginning. The Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face, and that person was none other than the man who ended slavery and preserved the Union. For decades, the Lincoln cent has been a symbol of American history, with its design evolving from the wheat reverse to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and later to the Union Shield in 2010. But the 1980 cent stands in a very special place, right before the great material transition of 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched from copper to zinc. The material and minting details in 1980, all Lincoln cents were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each coin weighed about 3.11 grams, which is heavier than modern pennies. They were struck at three major U.S. mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, Denver coins carry a small D below the date, and San Francisco coins, marked with an S, were mainly proofs made for collectors, but hidden among these coins were a few that had minting mistakes. Small errors, or even variations that today make them incredibly valuable. Why 1980 is a key year for penny collectors? Now, here's where things get really interesting. 1980 sits right on the edge of major changes in U.S. coin production. It was one of the last years full copper cents were made in huge numbers, just before cost-cutting and metal shortages forced a change in 1982. Because of that, coin experts and collectors pay extra attention to 1980 pennies. Add a minting error or rare die variety, and you've got a coin worth hundreds of dollars. Rare errors of the 1980 Lincoln cent. Let's talk about the exciting part, the errors that make the 1980 penny valuable. Here are some of the rarest and most desirable types. Double die obverse, where the date or letters like Liberty and In God We Trust appear doubled. Center strike, when the coin design is not properly centered. Die crack or die clash, showing raised lines or ghost images. Broad strike error, where the rim is missing or expanded. Transitional metal error, although very rare. Some copper coins from this era have weight or composition variations. If you have one of these coins, don't spend it. It could be worth a small fortune. How to identify a valuable 1980 PNNY? Take a magnifying glass and look carefully. Start with the date. Check for doubling, especially on the 1 and the 9. Look at Liberty and In God We Trust. Any doubling or shadowing means it's worth checking by a coin expert. Flip it over. See if the Lincoln Memorial appears off-center, stretched, or missing. Details. Also, weigh your coin. If it's heavier or lighter than 3.11 grams, it might be a planchet error or wrong metal composition, both valuable features. Market value and record sales. Now for the numbers everyone wants to hear. Ordinary 1980 Lincoln cents in circulated condition are worth face value, just 1 cent, but uncirculated or error coins? That's a whole different story. A 1980 Lincoln cent with strong doubling can fetch over $700 at auction. Even proof coins from San Francisco can sell for $50 to $100 in perfect condition. And rare errors? One exceptional coin sold for $787.99, verified by PCGS, a record for this type. Why people pay so much for a PNNY? You might wonder, why would anyone pay hundreds of dollars for a single cent? Because for collectors, rarity and perfection matter. Every minting error, every slight difference tells a story of how coins were made, and how a small mistake can turn into treasure. Collectors love the thrill of the hunt, and the 1980 penny is one of those coins that can surprise you any day. Among all, the 1980 Lincoln cent is one of the most sought after. The Denver Mint produced millions, but a few had clear doubling and planchet errors that if you find a 1980D with perfect shine, no scratches, and crisp details, it could be a valuable uncirculated coin worth grading. Keep it in a plastic coin holder to prevent further damage. Spotlight on 1980s proof PNNY. The San Francisco Mint struck beautiful proof coins, mirror finish, sharp details, and polished dies. While most proof sets are affordable, flawless 1980s proofs graded PR69 or PR70 can bring serious collector money. They were never meant for circulation, which makes any 1980s found in pocket change extra special. How to grade your 1980 Lincoln PNNY coin. Grading is key. Collectors and investors use professional services like PCGS or NGC to assign grades. Grades like MS65, MS67, or MS70 indicate mint state perfection. The higher the grade, the higher the value. If you think your penny looks new or has unique errors, consider professional grading. A small investment could multiply your coin's value. How to sell or trade your coin. So you found a rare 1980 penny. Now what? You can list it on trusted auction platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Great Collections, but always include clear, close-up photos, especially of the date and mint mark. Also, join coin collector forums and Facebook groups. You'll find experts who can guide you or even buy from you directly. The emotional value of coin collecting. Coin collecting isn't just about money, it's about history, connection, and passion. Each coin passed through countless hands, from generation to generation. When you hold an old penny, you're holding a piece of America's story, and maybe, just maybe, a piece of treasure waiting to be rediscovered. Tips to find rare pennies in your CHNG. Always check your coins, in your wallet, your jars, or even in old piggy banks. Focus on older dates like 1980, 1982, 1972, and 1969. Many have valuable varieties. Use good lighting, a magnifying glass, and a digital scale. Patience is key. The rare ones don't show up every day, but when they do, you'll know it was worth the wait. Conclusion and subscribe MESSAG. So now you know the full story of the 1980 Lincoln cent, from its origin to its record-breaking sales. A small piece of copper that carries more than 100 years of history and a chance to hold something worth far more than 1 cent. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more videos about rare coins, valuable pennies, and hidden treasures, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Rare Lincoln Penny, and hit that notification bell, because the next penny you find might just change your life. Today, we uncover one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, the 1982 Lincoln cent. At first glance, it looks like every other penny. But hidden among millions of common coins lies a rare 1982 cent worth up to $787.98 or even more. So why is it special? What makes one tiny copper coin so valuable? Let's dive deep into its full story, from the history of Lincoln cents to the secrets of the 1982 transition year. The legacy of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909, to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and 2 wheat ears on the reverse. Known as the wheat cent. In 1959, the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial design, marking another milestone. But the biggest transformation came in 1982, when the U.S. Mint changed the metal composition for good. The big change of 1982. Before 1982, every Lincoln cent was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, but due to rising copper prices, the cost of producing a penny became higher than its actual value. The U.S. Mint decided to switch to a cheaper metal, zinc coated with copper. This meant 1982 was a transition year. Some pennies were made of copper, and others of zinc. This change created one of the most collectible and confusing sets of varieties in Lincoln cent history. The many varieties of the 1982 PNNY. There are 7 known types of 1982 Lincoln cents: 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, 1982 D large date copper, 1982 D small date zinc, 1982 D large date zinc. Collectors still search for the rumored 1982 D small date copper, one of the rarest and most mysterious coins ever found. How to tell copper from zinc? It's easy to check whether your 1982 penny is copper or zinc. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams, while a zinc Penny weighs 2.5 grams, use a digital scale for accuracy. You can also do the sound test. Copper coins make a solid ringing tone, while zinc coins sound duller when dropped on a hard surface. Even the color is slightly different. Copper has a rich reddish tone, while zinc coins often appear lighter or spotted. The mint marks and their NGS. The 1982 Lincoln cents were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D mark. Each mint had its own variations and metal types. The Denver Mint is known for producing the rarest combinations, especially the 1982 D small date copper, a legendary rarity that sold for thousands of dollars when discovered. The mystery of the 1982 D small date COPPR. Only a few confirmed 1982 D small date copper pennies exist. In 2017, one was sold for $18,800, making it one of the most valuable modern pennies in history. Collectors and coin hunters across the world still search rolls of pennies hoping to find another one. Every 1982 penny deserves a second look. Your change jar could hold a fortune. Market value and collector demand. Today, the value of a 1982 Lincoln cent depends on three things: metal, date, style, and condition. Common zinc varieties in circulated condition are worth about 1 cent, but high-grade uncirculated coins can reach $5 to $20. Copper small date varieties can go for $50 to $150. And rare transitional errors or pristine mint state examples have sold for hundreds of dollars, with some reaching $787.98 or even higher at auction. The market continues to grow as collectors chase down every variation. How to check if your 1982 penny is valuable? Start by weighing your coin. If it weighs 3.11 grams, it's copper. Next, look at the shape of the date. The small date variety has a 2 and 8 that sit higher, while in the large date, the 8 and 2 are leveled. If your coin is a small date copper, it could be worth serious money, especially if it's a Denver Mint coin. Examine under good light and magnification. Even minor die differences can make a huge value difference. Coin grading and PRSERVATON grading plays a huge role in value. A coin in mint state, MS65 or higher, can multiply in price compared to a circulated one. Never clean your coins. Cleaning destroys surface luster and lowers value dramatically. Store them in coin flips, holders, or albums to prevent oxidation and damage. The best preserved coins often become the most valuable investments. Error coins and rare variations. 1982 was a chaotic year at the mint, and several error coins were created. You might find off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, and other mistakes. Collectors love these rare errors. Some double die 1982 cents have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on clarity and grade. Auction records and real sales. Over the years, many 1982 Lincoln cents have broken records. The 1982 D small date copper remains the most famous, but even ordinary varieties in pristine condition fetch strong prices. Online platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections have seen 1982 cents sell between $100 and $1,000, depending on grade and variety. One coin graded MS67 RD sold for over $780, proving that condition and rarity drive the market higher every year. How to find rare 1982 pennies? The best way to find valuable 1982 coins is coin roll hunting. Get rolls of pennies from your local bank, and carefully search each coin. Use a digital scale and magnifying glass to check for copper and date style. You can also trade or buy from coin shows, online auctions, and collector groups. Persistence pays. Every collector dreams of finding that one special penny hiding in plain sight. Why the 1982 cent remains iconic. The 1982 Lincoln cent tells a story of change, from copper to zinc, from tradition to modern economy. It represents both history and mystery, and its varieties have fascinated collectors for decades. This coin teaches us that even the smallest details can hold great value. A single cent can become a collector's dream, proving that treasure still exists in our pockets. Final thoughts and channel MESSAG. Thank you for watching Rare Lincoln Penny, where we explore the amazing world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Remember, the next valuable coin might already be in your wallet, your drawer, or your collection. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because every week we share new stories, values, and discoveries from the world of numismatics. Keep searching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a single Penny, your 1982 Lincoln cent could be worth $787.98 or more, maybe even thousands. Stay tuned for more incredible coin stories, only on Rare Lincoln Penny. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and undervalued coins in modern U.S. history, the 2001 Lincoln Penny. You might think it's just another ordinary cent, but wait until you hear how some have sold for over $787.97, and in rare cases, much more. So grab your magnifying glass, coin book, and a cup of coffee, because this story is about to open your eyes to a hidden treasure lying right in plain sight. The birth of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent made its first appearance in 1909, honoring America's 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. On the 100th anniversary of his birth. It replaced the Indian head penny and quickly became a symbol of American pride. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this small copper coin carried not just Lincoln's face, but also a story of progress, honor, and history that continues even today. The evolution to the 2001 PNNY. Fast forward almost a century to 2001, the Denver Mint continued the legacy of producing billions of Lincoln cents. However, among those billions, rare variations and minting errors began to surface. These small imperfections, unnoticed by most people, would later become the key to identifying coins worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. What does the D mean? If you look closely under the year 2001 on your penny, you'll see a small letter, the D mint mark. That letter stands for Denver Mint, one of the main U.S. mint facilities responsible for producing circulating coins. The Denver Mint is known for its high production quality, but even here, rare minting errors slip through, and that's where the collector's goldmine begins. The makeup of the 2001 PNNY. Unlike the early Lincoln cents made of pure copper, the 2001 penny is made mostly of zinc with a thin copper plating. This change happened back in 1982 to reduce costs. The modern penny contains 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. However, this shift also led to unique problems, such as blistering, peeling, and double die strikes, all of which can increase a coin's value dramatically if found in uncirculated condition. Why collectors love the 2001 Collectors are fascinated by the 2001 because it sits at the intersection of modern production and rare minting errors. It's not just old coins that bring high value, it's the unusual ones, the imperfect ones, the ones with a story to tell, and the 2001 Lincoln cent has plenty of stories. Now let's get into the most exciting part. The rare mint errors that can make your 2001 penny worth hundreds of dollars. Look out for double die obverse, DDO, where Lincoln's face, date, or lettering appears doubled, center strike, where the coin image is not properly aligned, die cracks or cuds, raised lines or bumps caused by cracks in the die, floating roof error, where the roof of the Lincoln Memorial appears detached. Each of these errors can push your coin's value from a single cent to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. How to identify a valuable 2001 PNNY. Get a 10x magnifier or coin loop and look carefully at the details. Check Lincoln's I, the date, and the word Liberty for doubling. Inspect the reverse side for die breaks or missing details. A shiny, red, uncirculated example with a strong strike could already be worth more than face value, even without errors. The market value in 2025. Now let's talk numbers. In today's collector market, a 2001 Lincoln cent in circulated condition is worth around 5 cents to 20 cents, depending on grade. However, a mint state, MS67 red, example can reach $60 to $120. And with rare error types, such as double die or off-center strikes, the price skyrockets, with some specimens fetching $787.97 or more at auction. Yes, your single penny could buy you a luxury dinner or even more. Auction stories that shocked collectors. In one incredible auction, a 2001 penny with a full double die obverse sold for nearly $800. Another off-center strike example sold for over $500 due to its flawless condition. These stories prove that even a modern penny, just over 2 decades old, can become a collectible masterpiece when rarity meets demand. How to store and protect your pennies. If you think you found a rare 2001 penny, handle it carefully. Avoid touching it with bare fingers. Instead, use cotton gloves. Store it in a 2x2 coin holder or airtight capsule to protect its condition. Remember, even a small scratch can reduce its value drastically. How to get your coin graded to know its true value. You'll need to have it professionally graded. Top services like PCGS, NGC, or ANAX can authenticate and grade your coin. A certified grade like MS66RD or higher can instantly multiply its market price. Collectors trust these certifications, and that trust equals real money. How to sell your rare 2001 D Lincoln PNNY. Once graded, you can sell your coin on trusted platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Great Collections. Always include clear photos and mention any visible errors. Don't rush, research similar listings and set a fair price. Sometimes waiting for the right buyer can earn you hundreds more. Fun facts about Lincoln PNNES. Did you know that the Lincoln cent is the longest-running coin design in U.S. history? It's also the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny has survived wars, inflation, and economic changes, but it remains the most collected coin in America. That's why every version, including the 2001 D, holds a piece of American history in your hand. Conclusion and channel MESSAGEN. That brings us to the end of our deep dive into the 2001 D Lincoln penny, a small coin with a big story. From its roots in 1909 to its modern-day collector value, the Lincoln cent continues to fascinate both beginners and experts alike. So before you spend that penny in your pocket, check it twice, because you might just be holding one worth hundreds of dollars. If you enjoyed this video and love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Rare Lincoln Penny, your #1 source for hidden treasures in everyday change. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos about coin collecting, history, and the secrets of American money. Thanks for watching, and remember, every penny has a story. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins, the 2014 D Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary 1-cent coin, but in reality, certain rare versions of this penny have sold for hundreds of dollars, even reaching $787.96 in some private sales. In this video, we're going to explore the full history, minting secrets, grading, market trends, and everything that makes this small copper-plated coin so fascinating. The birth of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909, marking 100 years after the birth of President Abraham Lincoln. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose small initials, VDB, can still be found on some early issues. This coin replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. The penny quickly became one of the most produced coins in American history, but not all are created equal. Some mint errors and varieties became legendary among collectors. The 2014 D mint mark. What it means. The D in 2014 D Lincoln penny stands for Denver Mint. Located in Denver, Colorado, the Denver Mint is known for its mass production, but also for its occasional and interesting minting errors that have created some of the most valuable pennies ever found. In 2014, billions of these coins were minted, but only a handful carried unique features, die cracks, double dies, or other imperfections that caught the eyes of experts. Those tiny differences are what make this coin's story worth exploring. The 2014 design, Shield Reverse. The 2014 penny continued the Lincoln Shield Reverse design, which had been introduced in 2010 to replace the earlier Lincoln Memorial design. The shield represents Lincoln's preservation of the Union during the Civil War, with the single banner reading E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. The obverse side still shows the classic Lincoln profile, facing right, with the inscriptions, In God We Trust, Liberty, and the date 2014 with the mint mark D. Even though it looks modern, the design carries over a century of symbolism and national pride. Composition and weight. The science behind the penny. The 2014 D Lincoln penny is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. It weighs about 2.5 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. Before 1982, pennies were mostly copper, but due to rising metal costs, the U.S. Mint switched to a cheaper composition. This change has made older pure copper pennies more collectible, while newer ones like the 2014 D rely on rarity, condition, and error varieties for value, mintage numbers and circulation. Facts. According to official mint records, the Denver Mint struck over 4.9 billion Lincoln cents in 2014 alone. That's billions with a B. With such a massive number, it might seem impossible that any one penny could be valuable, but that's the beauty of coin collecting. Even in huge mint runs, rare varieties and pristine, untouched coins can stand out and be worth hundreds or even thousands of times their face value. Rare varieties and mint errors. Now here's where things get exciting. Collectors have identified several varieties of the 2014 D Lincoln penny that have become sought after. Double die obverse, DDO, when the design is struck twice slightly off, causing doubling on the date or lettering. Die cracks, small raised lines caused by cracks in the die, often across Lincoln's face or neck. BIE error, a small die chip between the letters B and E in Liberty, creating what looks like the word Liberty. Center strikes, coins that were not perfectly centered when struck. These rare versions are what pushed the coin's value to hundreds of dollars. Grading the penny. Condition is king. Coin grading plays a massive role in determining value. A circulated coin may only be worth face value, but an MS67 or MS68 grade from PCGS or NGC can increase the price dramatically. For the 2014 D Lincoln penny, examples in MS68 red, RD, condition have sold for around $787.96, depending on the market demand and auction. Venue.so. Before you spend that penny, it's worth checking its shine and details carefully. You might wonder, why would someone pay nearly $788 for a 1-cent coin? It's all about perfection and rarity. Only a few coins from the entire mintage are perfectly struck, fully read, and free of blemishes or scratches. Collectors and investors chase those flawless examples, driving up auction prices. It's not just a penny, it's a piece of art, history, and minting precision combined into one. Auction records and market trends. According to coin auction reports and collector forums, 2014 D pennies in top grades have fetched surprising prices. For example, one certified MS68 RD coin sold for $787.96, while others in slightly lower grades, MS67 RD, sold between $50, $150. Over time, as more people start collecting modern era coins, prices continue to rise for high-grade pieces. The market for Lincoln cents remains one of the most active in the world of numismatics. How to identify valuable pennies. If you have 2014 pennies at home, grab a magnifying glass and check these features: clear, bold doubling on the date or lettering, strong luster and red surface without discoloration, sharp edges and no contact mark. Signs of mint errors, cracks, chips, or off-center strikes. If you find any of these, do not spend that coin. It might be your lucky find. The role of coin collectors and enthusiasts. Collectors form the heart of the coin world. They preserve history, discover new varieties, and educate others about hidden treasures in everyday change. Communities online, coin shows, and grading companies all play vital roles in uncovering rare finds like the 2014 D penny. That's why channels like Rare Lincoln Penny exist, to share knowledge, passion, and excitement about coins that many overlook. Comparison with other rare Lincoln pennies. To truly understand the 2014 D penny's potential, it helps to compare it with other rare Lincoln cents. For instance, the 1955 double die, the 1969 SDDO, and the 1972 double die pennies are legends worth thousands. While the 2014 D isn't as old, its modern rarity and mint perfection make it an emerging star in the collector's market. Future generations may see its value rise even higher. Tips for preserving and selling your penny. If you discover a potentially valuable 2014 D Lincoln penny, handle it carefully, use gloves to avoid fingerprints, store it in a coin holder or capsule, and never clean it with chemicals. Cleaning destroys collector value. When ready, submit it to a reputable grading service or sell it through trusted platforms like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections. Remember, patience and presentation can turn a 1-cent coin into hundreds of dollars. The story of the 2014 D Lincoln penny reminds us that even modern coins can hold great surprises. Whether it's a rare double die, a flawless mint state coin, or simply a piece of history in your hand, every penny has a story to tell. Keep checking your change, keep learning, and never underestimate what you might find. Here at Rare Lincoln Penny, we bring you the mysteries, values, and hidden wealth behind the coins you see every day. So hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more rare coin discoveries. Because your next coin might just be worth $787.96, or even more.